the strategy to go with that product. Do you have any ideas about how to go upstream strategies to help prevent the institution having a steady stream of prisoners coming in or potential prisoners?
And are you referring to the gentleman back there talking about what can we actually do about this? You know, it was interesting that we would have this conversation earlier, and I do just want to say we do have slightly different opinions on the matter. Although people who know me wouldn't believe it, but I am actually hopeful. And I tend to be very overwhelmed, as a matter of fact, about all of what I'm dealing with. And just a daily scanning, I do all manner of searches in Google, you know, this kind of thing about what's happening in the drug war and, you know, racial profiling and so on. And so my inbox every day, we were talking about this, you know, 350 pieces of email, easy, most of which are emails that I actually have to read. And so, you know, I'm inundated with this kind of information. But I have to remind myself of the things that are truly efficacious on a micro level. And one of the primary things for me, and one of the things that I've seen have tremendous results, is simply the very act of humanizing a person who's done time and actually being willing to have a real conversation and not just see a former prisoner, but the person in front of you. And that does a tremendous amount for people coming out. And again, I mean, I'm able to speak primarily in terms of my research from women's experiences, but lots of my friends have done time. And there's absolutely nothing like being able to just say, you know what, let's just hang out. If they want to talk about their prison experience, fine. If they don't, you know, it's all good. But you know, there's a sort of welcoming process, like you're a member of our community again. And this is something I'll say about my native country that I am really proud of, is that when they incarcerate their people in that country, they do so with the knowledge that everyone's coming out. There is no such a thing as a life sentence. And, of course, they don't have Gary Ridgways running around, but it doesn't matter. They approach the process of reentry very early on into that process of incarceration, saying, okay, you are going to be a member of our community again. So both for your sake and for our sake, what can we do to make sure that that transition happens? One of the things is that very quickly, if the person demonstrates that they're not violent within the general pop, they're transferred to an open prison where they leave every day for work. And, you know, people are under the assumption that people in Finland wouldn't be in nonviolent offenses. But actually, there's a lot of alcohol drinking. So a lot of women are in there for fights. A lot of men are in there for stabbings and sometimes for shootings. So it's not just that it's the nonviolent folks, but there's this transition period. And again, the idea there is you are coming back to our community. You are a member of our community. Once you're back, you're not a former prisoner. You're a member of our community again. And so what I tell people, whether they're involved in church groups or, you know, some other kind of employment program where they can actually bring people in, you know, you shouldn't feel like, oh, you know, I'm such a good person because I'm doing this thing and helping these poor prisoners. No, these folks are our community. This is our community, and that's what I'm always trying to get across. This is not an other class. These are not subhumans, for God's sake. And that's really where it starts. That's where I think it starts, in the way that we act and talk about these issues and to people who have done time. So there's a lot more beyond that, but I would say that is a starting point.
Excellent. On that point, it's kind of like with HIV, how people back in the day were afraid and ran away, didn't want to talk or didn't want to engage with people. Now it's fairly common that most people know someone who's HIV.
Right.
And that was predicted early in the epidemic. And now this epidemic is one where I'm going to know someone, perhaps have a relative who's going to be in prison in the future. You know, the embryonic people, and the fetuses that people get very riled up about are potential prisoners too. So it seems to me that if we put our efforts also into children and people who are in high school and people who are in, we can look at the demographics and say that in Federal Way there's a huge high school dropout level or lack of completion of high school.
Right.
And so if people could target their own communities and start looking at preventing these people from having more.
That's absolutely true.
To cut that flow off. Because Gregoire just signed into law the gang bill, which now criminalizes graffiti writing. So it's
a nightmare.
So much for the First Amendment.
Thank you.
I mean, we have to always be aware of what's going on so we can use our voting privileges, which we in the free so-called world have and can put into play.
Right, unless you have the legal financial obligations, on your back, making sure that you can't vote.